And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. Today's episode is called Insecticide. Semaru back at it. Where have all the electrons gone? And current sheet polarity? I'm your host Dan, aka smAsho. And we see a coronal mass ejection, which didn't even make the title. Why? Because Earth is out in this direction from stereo A, and the coronal mass ejection is out in this direction. Let's take some more looks at some more interesting things, such as the Sun in 171 angstroms. For the last 48 hours, this is what it looked like. We see an active region setting in the northwest, and a sunspot moving toward the southwest. And if you're wondering why that's west when this is east on your map, it's because that is where solar weather sets, in the west. We've got some more views here. Let's let that play through a second time and then check them out. Here are the magnetic fields going on with those areas, and we've got a couple custom videos for you here as well. Here's sunspot 2765, and it still is a sunspot if you're wondering. That's the last one day of its activity. And here is the northern polar region, as well as former sunspot 2764, which has now degraded to a plage, but that southern one is still indeed a sunspot. Anyway, there's the last 24 hours of that area in 171 angstroms. And here's the 304 angstroms view, in case you were wondering. Not a lot of filaments around the limbs right now. And it looks like some activity might be rising in the east. By the way, we have streamed this live to Twitch. If you haven't watched us there, perhaps check us out at twitch.tv/smAsho. Next, we're going to look at a 131 angstroms view. And that's the past 48 hours. A little bit of filamentary activity kicking off right around here toward the beginning. And again, no coronal mass ejections facing the Earth right now. Let's move on to look at lots more stuff like the KP index, which is 1. 10.7 centimeter radial flux, 71. And we're almost into the hottest 2 weeks of the entire year, folks. In terms of solar radiation, we're only 11 hours from the hottest 2 weeks of the entire year. Or, if you're in the southern hemisphere, the coldest 2 weeks, as we're only a week and less than a half a day away from the solstice. So join us when the solstice happens, which is at 5:43 p.m. on June 20th on Saturday. We'll be featuring call-ins, and feel free to give us a call or send us a text at 610-936-9799. Country code +1, as we are in the U.S. Let's get back to a frontier known as space. And by the way, thanks everybody who tunes into the smAsho stream, as well as on YouTube and BitChute especially. thanks to the SMASH team. Here's where things are now in the solar system. There's where things will be in a week. Approaching the solstice at a new moon, my favorite phase of the moon. And I will be delighted to view the SMASH stream with you. By the way, please everybody keep SMASH staff in your prayers that she feels better. She's been having a bit of a bad time. And let's move on to a very, very brief cosmology segment. Let's talk about neutrinos coming out of the Earth. What's going on with that? How come neutrinos are going out of the Earth? What's going on inside the Earth's core? Well, I'm not going to conjecture. I'm just going to say, read this article, which confuses the heck out of geologists and indeed cosmologists, as they propose a new explanation for strange neutrino anomalies. And what's the explanation? The explanation is cosmic rays being refracted through the ice. This one's on SciTech Daily. It'll be all over the science wires. By the way, if you like the science wires, check out youtube.com/smAsho and check out the playlists. We're going to be making another terms defined soon. Entropy. And by the way, if you follow the group Entropy Busters on Facebook, that is indeed us. Thanks whoever it was commenting about that. And if you rise before the sun, Venus has too. Go have a look on the eastern horizon if you've got a good view, as you'll see the third brightest object visible in the sky after only the sun and the moon, Venus. No X-rays have been particularly significant here in the past 3 days. Nothing in the B flare range. Proton flux similarly flatlined. No surprises there. Real-time solar wind very low. Solar wind density barely 2 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed 324 kilometers a second. Solar minimum speeds. Next we'll look at the geospace, and allow me to geo-vanish. Here's the density. Keep in mind low density is shown in white, and you can see that very low density solar wind, as well as a high density strip there at the bow shock region. Why? Magnetohydrodynamics. So as the protons come in, does induction happen? Is it two magnets pushing against each other? What is it? How does it work? Is there a dynamo inside the Earth? Is there fusion inside the sun? Well, check out the pressure. It's as low as it gets. The shields are down, folks. Now let's zoom out a little bit. Shields are down currently, so very low levels of electron flux on both the sun and non-sun side of the planet. I'll let that play through a second time. So we won't see many ground perturbations here unless they are utterly magnetically induced. A great time to study the magnetosphere is when it's turned off, like it is now. If you're wondering how this data is gathered, it's from the Space Weather Modeling Framework, which can be accessed down here on Details. So just click Details if you want to read about the Space Weather Modeling Framework. There are a lot of variables. A lot of variables. Next we'll look at cosmic ray flux, actually. Here's the Polarity neutron monitor. Since we're talking about these things kind of in succession, you see how that works? Here's the Polarity neutron monitor showing a downtick over the past 30 days. Here's Barentsburg showing an uptick of similar magnitude over the past 30 days. Next, look at Athens. Here is Athens, Greece, much farther south, and a slight uptick there over the past 30 days as well. Next, we'll check out Mexico City. Uptick in Mexico City over the past 30 days. And by the way, Mexico City's corrected data. I'm quite sure Athens would be also, otherwise it wouldn't be worth looking at. Next, let's look at Moscow, as they've changed their site around. Let's see where we're at now. And I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Not exactly sure if that's the cosmic ray monitor or not. Here's Oulu, Finland, as well as Antarctican DOMC. So Oulu's quite flat here over the past 30. DOMC is a small uptick over the past 30. So a small uptick overall in cosmic rays over the past 30 days. And I am a published poet, which is why I did know it. Next, you're looking at ground magnetic perturbations here, going a little closer to home. Not closer than the cosmic ray monitors, but closer than the geospace magnetosphere movies from space, to see not a lot of perturbations here with such a low solar wind, and solar wind density and speed both included. Now, I think we are already in the South Pole current sheet, as we cited in the title, because of this. So you're seeing midnight here, local time for the GOES 16 satellite. And this probably is the crossing right here. So we're probably already in the South Pole current sheet. Keep in mind the next data is an hour and 26 minutes old. There's the gong too. And yeah, that's pretty much rest assured, especially as that sunspot sets. The Earth's field force line will most assuredly be in South Pole current sheet as forecasted yesterday. Probably already, if not very shortly. Here's a line of sight field plot, which is not particularly eventful. You can see the B field is fairly uniformly shaped on both sides, shown in blue. And thanks to whoever that was commenting about solar magnetism, check out the electron flux, how low it is and how low it's gone. Just down, 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 and not coming back up yet. So again, I'm still forecasting an uptick in this, as that's usually the way it works. Just not in the past, I don't know, 6 weeks. Very low electron flux. And here you can see it's completely flatlined twice in the past 12 hours. Ultra low electron flux, along with low solar wind. Where do the electrons come from, folks? Where do they come from? Let's not argue with people who'll clutch their pearls and say, I don't want to talk to you anymore about where the electrons come from. Let's don't do that. And there's a total electron content forecast. Here's the ionosphere, 6 hours data. And you can see very weak on all scales here. Weak every place except in terms of cosmic ray flux. So you're looking at weak ionosphere, weak electron flux, weak X-ray flux, weak proton flux, weak everything except cosmic ray flux. Even on the sun side, we're only getting to 8 megahertz right now. So and please bear with me, just checking the chat. And I'm back, encased in blue flames. How about that? Anyway, here's the latest image on the ionosphere. And again, looking very weak. Although now we're up to 9 megahertz. Right there. And don't go nuts. This too shall pass. And we had an earthquake come in just as we did show prep. In fact, probably, no, not quite while we streamed, during show prep. And show prep took a long time today, folks. That's why my voice is giving out at 5:55 a.m. And just looking at the earthquake list here, nothing over a 6 magnitude, it looks like. Although here's a deep quake at Tonga. It's only a 4.8 magnitude. And just going up, up, up the list. No real quakes to report. Next, looking at volcanoes. Semeru is back on the list. flight level 13,000 there. Dacono, flight level 6,000 there. Fuego, flight level 15,000 there. Sangay, exploding as well. Flight level 17,000 there. Revenador and Sabancaya, both exploding. Volcanic ash clouds, 16,000 and 25,000 feet above sea level, respectively. And let's talk about, oh my God, it's so spooky. Do you remember how we started to cover that little thing? No. Do you remember how on January 23rd we started to cover that at smAshomash.com/forum? Do you remember that? We updated it almost every day for like 3 months. And thanks everybody who decided to log into the website and contribute. And so, oh wait, I'm not scared of that. I'm just going to leave it there for the rest of the video. Just to make a point that I don't care about that. Cough on me. My immune system will laugh in that thing's face, or its RNA, or its protein spikes. I don't care. I'm not scared. And I'm what a joke. Anyway, what are you doing? Are you locked down? Would you like to contribute cash? If so, go to subscribestar.com/smAshomash, or perhaps patreon.com/smAshomash, the real source of funding for these videos. And thanks to all our contributors. Let's talk about Reuters. Turns out that one American city's model of policing reform means building social currency, which is totally true. You're much less likely to mysteriously shoot a cop for no reason that you know. Let's talk about insecticide. I've done something that I didn't tell any of you that I was going to do. And what it was to purchase this. And what is that, you ask? Well, that is a 7-pound bag of cayenne pepper. Well, it used to be a 7-pound bag, but I've used some of it for things, and I'll be using it a lot. What's the point? Well, cayenne pepper is one of the many, and we'll be covering more in the future, repellents to, as an insecticide, keep bugs off of things you're growing outside especially. And of course, it's useful for all other things too. But hey, how about this? Instead of using horrifying, inhumane chemicals, why not use things that are tasty enough for you to eat and still keep the bugs away? Such as cayenne pepper spray repellent. All you do, if you want to make it really crazy, put some soap in there to really dry it out too, so it really sticks to stuff and crystallizes. It'll repel things like beetles, leafhoppers, and spittlebugs. But you can just mix it with water and spray it on your crops, and it'll be a yummy, yummy salsa. If you're growing your own extremely hot peppers, you can blend up things like just the seeds and just use the highly capsaicin infused seeds to make a spray out of it. Perhaps it's a good idea. If you don't add the soap, your insect repellent will be good enough to eat, and you'll find yourself spraying it on your tacos if you make it just right. So, now this morning, I did something, speaking of cayenne cautions, this morning I did something that maybe you've never considered doing, and here's what I accomplished. What I did was I took, if my eyes look kind of weird, it's because I took olive oil and I sprayed it all over my face. And then, I sprinkled cayenne pepper all over my whole face, and then I rubbed it around to make sure I had perfect coverage. Well, that wasn't the funnest thing that I've ever done. My nose got a little stuffy, and I'm still not fully recovered from it. However, a point was made, because I created something that no bug would want to be around, and I put it all over my face. And look, still not dead. So, and we're going to cover more stuff about this in the future. look for videos in our playlists on YouTube, for instance, to find videos that are about totally other things besides space weather. And whether or not you have bugs, you may want to have giant 7-pound boxes of cayenne pepper. Now here's what we're talking about here. Yesterday, I monkeyed around.
Yes, and how do you like that? That is 7 pounds of cayenne pepper. Just for comparison, here's my hand. That is a 7-pound bag of cayenne pepper.
So, yeah, we're also on Minds and other social media. Check us out there, perhaps. It's been very stagnant over there. And check it out. We've got a new Insanity file at smAsho.com/forum. We've got various different subjects there at smAsho.com/forum, whether it's cosmology or Earth and geophysics, general science, the sun, etc. In the general science forum, we've got a topic called Insanity Files. And the latest post is about how Seattle Mayor Durkham Chaz has a, quote, block party atmosphere. It could turn into a summer of love. I'm sure there's no horrifying violence going on there or anything. So, by all means, if you would like to establish warlords, please make sure you abolish the police. Moving on to some more subjects. Let's talk about Real Clear Politics article, which is the one that we cited. Again, please don't turn your town into a, quote, summer of love if it includes horrifying warlords and crime. Thank you. Turns out the BBC, I guess, is touting Trump here. It's crazy, because he's postponed a rally to avoid a slavery date. I have no opinion on this, but I'm just surprised that the BBC is not printing anti-Trump stuff. So without respect to whether I'm going to say cheers or you go to hell, you son of a beehive, I'm not going to say anything except there's a headline on a thing. And by the way, thanks everybody who tunes in to the content, whether I'm here or I've vanished. I appreciate your likes. We read all your comments, etc. And we try to keep everything as interactive as we possibly can. We may have to hire more staff in the future besides smAsho staff to keep up with you. But in any case, please don't forget to press like and subscribe and check out our playlists, as we expect terms defined to be updated sometime soon. Here's the weather map for the U.S. As my voice dies, winter lives, because there is still a frost advisory in places such as northern Wisconsin, as well as Minnesota. Here are the jet streams, and it's extremely meridional. Here are some other jet streams on the other side of the planet, and they are a little bit more zonal in the north and extremely kinked in the south. Check it out. Do not look up the Earth's butthole. You may be afeared. Do not be afeared of looking in the Earth's butthole. Wait, no, do. My grandmother was a nurse. She once took a class from a proctologist who said, "We're teaching you now about the ass." No, not the whole ass, but the ass as a whole. Next, looking at windy.com's pressure maps. By the way, they've got a great mobile app, and we're going to pause this where we expect things to be at 12 noon tomorrow, my time, which is Eastern Daylight Time. The same time as places like NYC, the Big Apple, and Atlanta. And we've let it advance to 1 p.m. instead. And if you don't like it, then you can take a in your and then have some with your and then you can go yourself. Next, looking at water vapor maps here for oh, you know, there's a problem here, and I see what the problem is. The problem is you're going to have to stop hanging above my head, because I've debunked you since January, please go away. Thank you. You are not my enemy. You are not qualified. Here are the water vapor maps for Europe and Africa. Here are the water vapor maps for the Far East and Oceania. Here's a lightning map showing, oh my God, Cuba. Please leave a comment if you're viewing the video from Guantanamo Bay. St. Petersburg, there's thunder rolling in. Please leave a comment if you're viewing from Tampa Bay. Please leave a comment if you own a car from the 50s. Check it out. We've got active lightning down under. Is it from under? Or is it from above? All right. What's that? It's suddenly spreading north. And now it's ceased. See, that's what happens when you stream live. The planet tells YouTube to censor you. Just kidding, folks. YouTube does that because it's looking out for your best interests. YouTube censors content because it's looking out for you. It's not because it's pure evil or anything. It's totally innocuous. It's benevolent. All right, next looking at the US Doppler radar map. And I've got to check the, oh my goodness. Does it have to be a snowstorm? It must be snowing in Antarctica. I mean, Australia. I always get them confused. Silly me. Anyway, there's the US Doppler, and we're going to look at Florida up close for once. Even though my mom lives in that state, I'm going to look at it anyway. Thanks a lot, Mom. You've ruined the state of Florida. Why does it suck so hard in Florida, Mom? Thanks a lot. Please stay inside. Just kidding, folks. I'm joking. I'm not serious. I am part Syrian. I'm an honorary part Syrian. Here's where clouds are. I don't care. We're going to zoom in on this area over western Florida. This is part of the value-added services, folks. If you shut down the video, then you're probably like, how come I can't see anything? And there's the zoom in on the water vapor map. It's the NASA GOES interactive weather satellite. Water vapor map. And that's what's going on in Tampa Bay. Please leave us a comment if you're trying to sleep in on a houseboat. Thanks, Smash Team, for sharing videos on social media and so on. We greatly appreciate your... Oh my gosh, it's a test pattern. We've been... The test pattern is really starting to raise my piss to a boil. Could you please send us back to some data? Oh, well, thanks. Here's an image of the sun. There's sunspot 2765, which is degrading. Although there could be a new umbra forming behind it. Let's watch and see what happens. Here are the magnetic fields, and let's see what we see. It looks like some umbra could be regrowing back there. Check it out. There it is. Or it could be this. But one of those two areas. And there's a little magnetic mixing going on up front also. And I just... You know what, Epic Pen? Epic Pen. That's a terrible drawing. All right. Forget you ever saw that. And lastly, we're going to look at a 48-hour video. But before we do that, let's look at some of the stuff I've been watching. Such as Nora Jones's new album, Misfits videos, How Google Knows Your Voice, Shout out to Tom at Switch to Linux. But what about this? Houston Jones wore 88 rolls of duct tape, which weighed over 50 pounds. What about celebrities end racism? Let's close things out.
I take responsibility.
Kyle Dunnigan.
I take responsibility.
Is hilarious.
I'm on the fence about it, but I'm listening.
If you haven't checked out Kyle
I
Dunnigan.
take responsibility for every unchecked moment.
One of the best.
Every time I said, give me 5 on the light-hand side.
On the
I'll
light-hand
take
side.
responsibility.
Anyway, check out Kyle Dunnigan, who's citing the fact that celebrities in Hollywood have ended racism, and thank goodness for that. Oh my gosh, I'm not even angry anymore about anything. The blue flames have just evaporated thanks to Hollywood and celebrities and HBO and production houses and all kinds of different corporations making sure that racism is completely ended via doing ridiculous, nonsensical things that have nothing to do with anything. Let's close things out, and pardon the sarcasm, with a 94 angstroms view of my favorite star, otherwise known as the sun. Here are the date stamps. And we are out, and I am gone. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, whether you viewed the live stream or the live premiere event or on Memorex. We appreciate every single view that we've got, so make sure that you overact and act like a complete moron cretin. Okay? Talk this soon. And remember, welcome to the Neo Renaissance. And since it'll never be now again, may that solar wind be at your back.